Okay, I'm eating some M&Ms and drinking some water periodically throughout this because I haven't done that all day. I need to explain. Today was Harry Styles Day for Chicago. Just throwing that out there. Tuesday the 26th, 2017. He was in town today. He is in town right now. He might be leaving to go to New York City. Who knows? All week / month, I've been debating back and forth with Dee about how the plan of attack should happen today. I'm sorry, Dee, but you've been a real sport throughout all of this.
I am. I don't mind. You always keep apologizing, but I don't care.
Good, I'm glad. Last night happened, right? And I was in here planning or like trying to figure out what we were gonna do today because because the alleyway was like the most likely target. Obviously the stage door was back there, clearly marked like the most talented like pass through this door. I'm like, wow, that's so obvious, but would they actually send him through that door? Obviously he's not gonna go through the front entrance. The street is Randolph, where there's an alleyway to go back to the stage door. Then there's Wabash, where there's another alleyway to go back to the stage door, but then the next street over. That's where these wall of doors are, but they don't, I am so bright right now, they don't necessarily have handles on them, so I've been suspicious. I decided that he's probably gonna come through the stage door most likely, so I should probably stand across from the stage door. Today rolls around, it's 9 a.m. I wake up, I look outside, the semi for the stage equipment is just backing in to the alleyway that is right next to the theater, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's already some girls down there, like I need to get my butt down there. So I put my face on, put my clothes on, I go outside, I do 2 laps around the building. There's 2 men scouting over there on the on the Randolph side where I thought they might drive the car through the alleyway. And then when I went around the other side, they were already in that other entry point checking out that place, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But when I got to the supposed lakeside, that's where 2 tour buses were running, and so I thought, oh, that's suspicious. Like, they might be in the tour buses, they might not be. I decided to go grab an iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts and chill on their patio because the patio was literally less than 10 feet from the first tour bus, so I thought that was a good plan of action. It was like 10:30, so at least I could sit there and watch how the day kind of proceeds instead of just standing around. As I was sitting there was another girl that came. She was like doing some homework. I'm like, well, that's pretty smart, like act like you're not here to see somebody specific. And then she left, and then this other girl came and she sat there with a friend for a while. I introduced myself to the girls, and then we kind of like talked for a while, and they were super sweet. So we waited around until like 1:30. There was one attempt where I got really nervous, they got really nervous, like we were very sure that this was Harry. A black SUV like pulled up in front of the tour buses. They were like, oh, well, do you want to see what's in this car? So they opened the door and like nobody was in the car, so that was just like a weird thing in general. We waited and it was like 3 or so. They set out some cones just so they could like kind of hold people back, but then the 2 girls got up and kind of like waited more near the tour buses where the cones were instead of in the Dunkin' area. And then I found this penny on the ground under my chair, and I picked it up because it was heads up, you know, good luck, whatever. And so I went and stood by the girls after that, and they said to me that one of the other girls that was standing near us had met a mom after she got scammed out of like $160 tickets from somebody, and they were fake. So she got scammed, and then this mom heard her talking. She was like, oh my gosh, like I have 2 extra tickets. I paid way too much for them, but if you want them for face value, like you can have them. And she only wanted 1. The girls that I was sitting with, they heard this girl talking about the tickets, and they told me, because they knew that I didn't have tickets for today, that she only wants 1 and there was 2 available. So I talked to the girl. She said the mom was going to come back around shortly, and I was like, oh my god, I don't have cash. So I tried to call Dee and I was like, will you go get cash back for me? But then I thought, no, that's stupid. Like, they say that Harry should be in for soundcheck at 4, and it was like 3:30 at this point. I'm like, I can just wait and go get it myself, like whatever, and then I can just meet the lady right afterwards. We waited there because at this point I just wanted to know that he was in the venue and then I could go get those tickets, because really that was all that mattered in the end, like talking for him for 2 seconds or like actually going to see the show tonight. So we stayed there until 4. A bunch of the girls ran around to the other side and were like, no, like not putting up with it. They ran back because they didn't see him, and then we heard some screams, and basically like he got out of the car for 0.2 seconds, like probably 30 feet from everyone, and went the stage door. So I was right yesterday, but I wouldn't have even gotten a chance to stand there today. So, and out of this I got tickets, so it was all a good day, probably because of this penny and just because of those girls. It was super sweet of them to say something. So I went to Walgreens and I took out $80 and bought the tickets from this mom, who is super lovely, and then we went to the show tonight. The show was so good. It was so good to see him again. Like, he's never gonna be in a venue that is that small ever again, and that it's right across the street is astounding. I feel so lucky right now that I was even just like able to attend and was in his presence, because he's just like such a happy individual and a kind person, and he's so passionate about what he does. He mentioned, he's like, I have been waiting to do this since I got off stage the last time that you saw me, kind of a thing. And I don't know, he loves what he does, and he really encourages people to be their best, and I respect everything that he stands for, and I adore his music and himself. So that's my spiel. I am so happy that the events kind of like played out today the way that they did. Yeah, thank you again for really holding the fort down today and supporting me while I waited outside for 6 hours.
No problem. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, perfect. How about we just fly to New York and do it there?
Yeah.
In a 10
I'll
times
just be
bigger
in a
city.
hotel room.
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to New York tomorrow. Besides the point.
Bye. And then
Bye, and then we're in New York, and it's like, yeah, okay, so bye, meet you in New York. No, we're not going to New York this week. We're going somewhere else, but I don't know if that's gonna be in this vlog or the next vlog, because as I can see, I've been talking for 10 minutes straight right now, and I know a lot of it was not pauses, and I know a lot of it's gonna make the cut. What a good way to start off the week. I go into printmaking tomorrow for 6 hours. I get to enjoy all of that, carve some clouds. Yeah, so really, like, what else could I ask for at this point? I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I don't know if this is the end, but if you want it to be the end, also give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys this weekend for another weekend vlog. Yeah, okay, did I insert the concert before or after? I'll figure it out. Okay, bye guys, bye!
like to find out who you love best. Okay. And 3, I'd like to hear you scream if you prefer Jordana's pitch. That was a long truth. For Giovanni's, 1, 2, 3. Never felt as good. We haven't spoken.